Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to the IT security seminar. We have with us Secretary WIRC Murtaza Kachwala sir. So, I request him to address to the participants.
Thank you, Shweta. At the outset, let me thank Shweta for coordinating these two programs. One was on the artificial intelligence, which we did, and now this IT security. And it has gone quite well. And people are very happy, and we are getting very good feedback from all the participants. So thank you to all the participants also for encouraging response and even participating and typing your queries, chat, etc. So which is very good. Basis the all the input and the request which is coming from various other members, Shweta is planning one more event on the artificial intelligence. So once we are ready with the date and the program structure, it will be circulated by on mail also by WIRC as well as on WhatsApp groups, etc. Looking forward to having Saurav Wakaria and Asif Rampurwala again for that AI session. And thank you, Asif Bhai, for sparing your valuable time for these two sessions as well.
Pleasure is all mine.
Yes. Today morning, we had one program which was again coordinated by Shweta, and where we did something on blockchain, and we received excellent feedback from the participants, and we had 350 plus today in the program, and people are saying that we should do something on blockchain as well. So we will try to schedule a longer duration, maybe 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 2 hours that way. So 16 hours, 20 hours, whatever program on blockchain also will come back to all of you. So thank you, and looking forward to your participation in that program as well. I just want to touch upon one more thing. So like some of the members have been in continuous touch with Shweta and with us as well. So some queries which were raised, we try to resolve those as well. So now with Asif sir, you are able to see the presentation as well as his like video as well, so you can see him also, which I think with Saurabh, because of bandwidth at his home, he had challenge, so he was unable to run his video. So I think that also now is resolved. And the second thing is like some members were saying that all the queries, answers, etc. are done on the WhatsApp group. So now today we have made Asif as the organizer as well, so he can look at the chat box. And if you want to use the chat box of GoToWebinar only, you can use it. So all your queries, whatever, you can type your answers there, and your questions also you can type there, and Asif Bhai can see it directly and he can answer. So you may want to avoid the WhatsApp group, you can avoid as well, because members said that was creating some form of disturbance or whatever to the speaker as well as to the participants. So the moment you raise the query, we'll try to have some answer, and that is what it is. And we look forward to all the comments, all the whatever are your feedback, so that we can improve upon. The features are available. It is a matter of like just knowing. The moment we know, we have updated that, and now it will you don't need to use the WhatsApp, so lesser disturbance, lesser inconvenience. And the camera we could not do because at the speaker's home there was a network challenge, but going forward we'll try to see whatever best we can do as well. So with that, let me stop here, and if there is any other feedback, happy to have. Just thought of coming over, interacting with all of you, and getting your feedback if any. That was the only objective from on WIRC, on behalf of WIRC. So thank you very much, and over to you, Shweta, again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing to the participant. I hope their query must have been resolved now. So without wasting much time, I directly request to Asif sir, please take charge for the session.
All right. Thank you, Murtaza sir, and thank you, Shweta ma'am, for the kind words. And I think today's session is going to be, I've completely customized it to what was the feedback from the students, like participants yesterday and day before. So lots of things which we are doing is over here. Shweta, there is this query about CPERs. I don't understand that much, but I think it is mostly related to you all. So, I leave that up to you. So that query is not for me, I'm assuming. Okay, so every day somebody puts in about CPERs. I don't know what that is, so I've chosen to ignore that question. All right. Okay, so Let me start with today's session. So as I said, I have actually customized the entire session today to cover whatever we discussed yesterday and the day before, and lots of queries were coming in about certain things which per se was not being discussed in part of the session which we had yesterday. So what I've done is I've tried to incorporate. So I'm trying to cater to the requests of everybody, and therefore there will be different sections which we'll be covering today in the area of IT security management, and they would be, some of them are distinct, segments of my session. Okay, so my session is going to be divided into roughly 5 segments today, and they would be, as my title suggests, there's not a single title. It's cloud basics, cryptography, security policies, authentication, and penetration testing. Okay, so they're all related, however, not necessarily in that sequence. Okay, so I'm doing these topics because of some of them are actually what was my plan, and some of these topics are what was because of your feedback. Okay, and thank you for all the Eid wishes from everyone, and Eid Mubarak to everyone as well. So let's quickly dive into the session. Hopefully we will be on time this today. Okay, so all right. I'm trying to get used to the questions. So if I'm not answering your questions, it might be because I'm not seeing them properly, but let me work with that. Please do not put anything on WhatsApp because I'm not checking my WhatsApp for some time. Okay, so at the end, I will look at my WhatsApp after the session. Till their session is going on, you can just use the chat window for the discussion. All right. Okay. So as I said, we will be having roughly 5 distinct parts: cloud computing, encryption, decryption, what is called as cryptography, security policies, authentication, and penetration testing, which we'll do that. So let's start with the first thing which I was having a lot of many people were asking me about yesterday was about cloud computing and what it is. So I'm just giving you a brief introduction, and then we can have some questions on cloud. Yeah. So. Exactly. So more details on cloud computing, right? So there are lots of. So let's look at what the cloud is. A cloud is, by definition, if you look at the definition of a cloud, okay. So cloud is a model for enabling, ubiquitous, convenient, and on-demand network access. Now, ubiquitous means something which is not in your face. Okay, not something which is not visible. So, for example, today we use the internet without thinking about it, without realizing it to be there. We assume it's always there because of the 3G, 4G connectivities, which we have, Wi-Fi everywhere. Earlier, getting onto the internet used to be a task. Like if you remember days like 10 years or 15 years ago, getting on the internet was a thing. That you have to switch on the internet or you have to make a dial-up connection or something like that. Today, it's ubiquitous. It's always there. It's already, it's always present. I remember the days when on a mobile phone also we used to switch on the internet and then switch it off quickly so that, the amount of data which is being downloaded or uploaded, uska cost bahut heavy hua karta tha. Nowadays, we don't do that with Jio and all the new plans which are out there. We just keep our mobile data on all the time and there's nothing to worry about. We keep our Wi-Fi at home on all the time and we're nothing to worry about. That's ubiquitous, right? So now if that is network which has internet which has become ubiquitous. Now what we're talking about is computing itself. So we always look at a computer in a physical sense, right? We have a laptop, we have a PC, we have a desktop or whatever. What if this becomes ubiquitous? What if we do not need to worry about IT infrastructure? So currently we're still stuck with laptops and desktops, but there is an entire IT infrastructure which is required to run an enterprise. Okay, so any enterprise requires what we call as nodes. Okay, nodes are devices which people use. Okay, so like I'm using a laptop, you are using maybe a desktop or a laptop or a mobile phone to connect to the session. But the server which is required for me to transmit this session live, okay, from my home to your screen at home, there is an entire service which is being provided by a third party, In this case, it is GoToWebinar. Okay, which is providing this very ubiquitously. We are not aware of how the data is traveling from my home and reaching your home, and nothing of that sort is required. You just need to go to this link which you have to join every day, register yourself, and there I am, at 6:30 every day. This is what a cloud computing service looks like. Okay, this is exactly what a cloud computing. So ICAI or any organization which wants to do a webinar or wants to do an online session does not need to invest in creating something called as a media server. Okay, earlier if you want to do it on your own, okay, if you wanted to live stream something like this, you would have to create your own media server. Okay, so have an entire server connect. So all the data would actually go to that server, and from that server will go to all the participants. Now, investing into an architecture like that or infrastructure like that for maybe ad hoc programs, programs which are not happening every day, it's not being used 24/7. It would be a very, very expensive thing to buy, and then, so there is a capital expenditure, and then there is an operational cost which is also very heavy. By using a service like GoToWebinar, we do it in a subscription model. We pay per use, right? So we are not paying for the entire infrastructure. We are just paying for the service. Okay, and that's what it is. So cloud computing means you create a shared pool of computing resources. Okay, so GoToWebinar has created that infrastructure for going live. Zoom, for example, Skype are all examples of people who have invested, or companies who have invested in an infrastructure for video communication. But then there are others. There are other cloud services. For example, you all have used Zoos. So Zoos is a software, or PeopleSoft, Salesforce. Some of you might be very familiar with Salesforce. All of these are third-party endeavors where they have created an entire solution which need not come. You don't need to buy it outright. You pay per use. Okay, so that can be rapidly provisioned. So otherwise, what used to happen was, earlier when any software needed to be bought by a company, the company had to spend a lot of money upfront in procuring that software. Okay, so software procurement was a big task. Then you have to deploy it. Then you have to train your staff. Then you have to update it, maintain it, and take care of the entire infrastructure. With a cloud service, all that is gone. You are just paying monthly or yearly, whatever the subscription model is, for the amount of usage which you do. Okay, so the amount of management effort required is minimal. Okay, and the service, it becomes a utility rather than a product. So it becomes a service rather than a product. Okay, so computing has moved from being a product and is becoming a service today. Okay, so that's basically a short definition of cloud. I'm sorry if I know it went on for 6 minutes, but that's the short definition of a cloud. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Is my screen visible now? Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just forgot to make my screen visible. It doesn't matter. So the definition is right up in front of you now. So whatever I told you, the official definition of a cloud is now in front of you. Okay. Nothing much there in that sense. All right. Okay. So going back to my next screen. Okay, so when we talk about characteristics of a cloud, okay, so the first characteristic of any cloud, okay, is that every cloud, okay, is an on-demand service. Okay, so it's a service which is provided on demand. Okay, like an electricity, like your internet connection at home, like water supply, like the cable TV or dish TV or whatever you use, DTH or whatever, all of this, it's like that. So cloud becomes a service which is available to you on demand. It has broad network access. Broad network access means it is available to you on your laptop. It could be available to you on a desktop. It can be available to you on a mobile phone. It could be available on a tablet, whatever. So that's a broad network access. It does resource pooling. Resource pooling means a cloud uses its infrastructure to share between multiple clients. So what happens is, like any third party situation, okay, what will happen is you are outsourcing your IT infrastructure to a third party, okay, a cloud provider. The cloud provider uses its data centers, its computing processes as a resource pool, and then provides it to the one who needs it at that time. Okay, so it's basically sharing those resources so that everybody gains access, okay, and does not need to invest heavily into their own infrastructure. Okay, so replication, duplication of IT infrastructure does not happen because you are sharing those resources. So the resources are pooled into one, and then they are shared between the tenants, we call them. So tenants are people who are actually provisioning those resources as and when they need them. Okay, it also includes something, you know, I would use this word yesterday, elasticity. Okay, a rapid elasticity. So there was somebody asked me a question yesterday, you know, that why do the servers on the last day of the submission for a tax filing, you know, slow down so much and all of that? That's because the infrastructure, if it is not elastic, that's a problem which can happen. Okay, so in an elastic infrastructure, what will happen is that you would tie up with your cloud service provider in such a way, you can have an agreement in such a way that if at all the requirement, the load increases, they will make it available to you for that short period of time till that load exists. Of course, when that extra provision is done, there will be an additional cost to it. Okay, so at least what will happen is thereby you will be able to use additional computing resources for a short duration of time, and you will pay additionally for it, but you don't have to buy it for the entire year. Okay, you can then have this, you know, okay, we know that in the last, let's say the last week of March, we are going to have a big, huge, you know, upload, or we are going to have in the last week of June or last week of July, whatever is the date that year. You can provision for that. You can talk to your service provider if it's a third-party resource, if it's a cloud solution, and make those provisions for you. So I said that government should make plan to do. So they know this. Of course, the problem is, you know, as I told you, the government is trying to do this. You know, so they're trying to build their own data centers. They're trying to build their own resource pools. Okay, currently the problem is that our funding, you know, is not as a, so we fund each department separately. You know, so each department then has to build their own resources. And then if it's a shared resource, then everybody, the question comes in, okay, who's the boss? Who owns that resource? Okay, so this same thing happened when, you know, train tickets were to be made, IRCTC was to be built. Same issue, right? Different railway departments had to come together and work together. Okay, finally the solution is there today. IRCTC as a company exists. Okay, and that's the only way. Similar things which will need to be done, and they are being done at us in bits and pieces. Hopefully, in the years to come, we will have a complete overall of the entire IT infrastructure across the country. Okay, Mr. Girish, I'll do that as today. Okay, let me finish the couple of slides of cloud, and then I can show you that as well. I have planned a couple of demos. I've planned a demo for the cryptography part as well. Okay, so everybody wanted to know how like what that private key, public key, or kya encryption, decryption, kya hota hai. So I've done a small, I've prepared a small demo. I'm planning to do that as well for you all today. Okay, so I'll do a quick cloud ka demo also if you want. I don't have cloud is many things as I'll show you. So I don't know how many things we can do today, but we'll just show you a couple of things. Tally data, unfortunately, I have no Tally access. I have no license for Tally. So I'm not an accountant. So I'll show you what you can do, and then you will need to implement it for Tally yourself. Okay. The last point for every cloud service is that it is also metered service. Metered means it is measured so that uska costing, jaise maine kaha na, if requirement for a higher load happens on a day, then automatically the service provider will charge you more. It's like that. So for example, I'm doing these sessions now online. So earlier, before COVID situation, I used to not deliver lectures from home, so my bandwidth requirement was less. So I used to be at 20 Mbps, okay, for my family. Now I am at 50 Mbps because I'm doing so much of work from home and all these kind of things. So I need a higher bandwidth for, and especially I need higher upload capability so that you all can see me clearly, you listen to me clearly, see my screen at the same time. All of that is required. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll talk about log analysis a little bit in the next session. Okay. Auditing ke andar we'll talk about log analysis. So there is a session on security audits, and in that time, at that time I will talk about what these logs are and how do you interpret them. I'm sorry, my laptop sometimes suddenly starts having a mind of its own. Okay, so this is what I was talking to you about yesterday again. So I was talking to you about the three models in cloud. So the cloud service has three basic models. There are some new names also available nowadays. I'll talk about them also, but the three basic ones are these. There is something called as the IaaS. Okay, so the IaaS basically means the I stands for infrastructure. Okay, so it's infrastructure as a service. Okay, so IaaS is infrastructure as a service. So you have players like Adobe, Amazon Web Services, Google Clouds, and even IBM, okay, who provide infrastructure as a service. Now, what do you mean by infrastructure as a service? Okay, so suppose you want to suppose you need a big server today. Okay. Okay, so if you have a big, if you need a big server today, suppose you don't want to use GoToWebinar, okay, and you want to create your own media server, okay. Suppose you are a company which is a media house, or you cannot trust a cloud service for whatever reason, okay, and you want to create your own media server. So now buying a media server physically is very expensive, okay. So what you can do is you can rent it out. So many of the companies, especially companies such as animation industry, okay. Earlier, what used to happen, animations jo hote hai na, we see these beautiful 3D movies and all of that, okay, visual effects. All of that requires heavy computing. Okay, there is a huge. It cannot be done on a laptop. Okay, it requires a huge backend server to process those videos and in 3 dimensions and all of that. Now, today, earlier, companies used to buy that kind of infrastructure. So there were very few companies around the world who could actually do VFX, okay, virtual effects, or even create 3D animated movies. Today, anybody can do it because many of these servers can be rented out using the infrastructure as a service cloud. Okay, and you can install your software over there, and you can use it and use it for some time till you are requiring to edit with high power or high computing requirement, and then when it is not required, you will not be paying for it. So you will be paying for the amount of hours which you use on the server. So that's much cheaper than buying the entire server for you. Okay, so infrastructure as a service basically means it allows you to rent out physical infrastructure, but then the software and everything, operating system, software licenses, all of that is your headache. Okay, in an infrastructure as a service. Then there is another level of a cloud or a service model which is called the platform as a service. Okay, so I think people might have heard of Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce is what we call as a software as a service, but Salesforce also has something called as Force.com. So the Force.com is a platform which is provided by Salesforce for people who want to build their own customized software. So Salesforce gives you a solution, but if you don't like that, or if you have some specific requirements, Force.coms allows you to customize your entire MIS software or CRM software which you want, using their infrastructure. Okay. Another examples are a lot of e-commerce websites provide this kind of a service where you can build your entire infrastructure online. Okay. Also, companies which allow you to host your websites, for example. Okay, like a GoDaddy is also an example of a platform as a service. So they provide a platform where you can host your own website. So you write your own website, or you get your website developed from a developer, and then you can host it on GoDaddy. So you don't have to host your own server. You don't have to install your own operating system. You don't have to install your basic software. आपको खाली अपना website का code उसके ऊपर डालना है. So that is done using as a platform as a service solution. So when you go to GoDaddy and you buy some web space, what you get is a ready-made machine with a ready-made operating system, with a ready-made software which allows you to host your own website. But they don't give you your website. The website you have to put on it. Okay, so this there are many such solutions. Amazon also provides platform as a service solutions. Also, Google provides a platform which is called as Google Engine, or Google now it is called as the App Cloud, Google App Cloud, or it used to be called as Google Engine. So you can build your own software. So if you have your programmers, you can hire your own programmers to build your customized software for your company using a cloud platform. Okay, so that's another way. The third one and the last, which is the software as a service, is where you actually directly use a ready-made software like Salesforce.com. Okay, like Zoho's. Okay, like Google Drive, Google Docs, Office 365. These are all examples of software as a service where you don't have to write any code. The entire software is ready-made, available to you. You can just click a button, make an account, buy the subscription, and you can start using it. So your Dropbox, your Google Drive, your OneDrive accounts, your emails, all your emails, for example. ईमेल अगर आपको खुद के कंपनी का ईमेल खुद ही होस्ट करना है, तो यू विल रिक्वायर योर ओन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, यू विल नीड टू इंस्टॉल योर ओन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, यू विल नीड टू इंस्टॉल समथिंग कॉल्ड एज एन ईमेल सर्वर. सॉफ्टवेयर आता है, ईमेल सर्वर खुद का इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा लाइसेंस खरीद के. वो सब आप नहीं करते हो. व्हाट यू डू इज योर एंटायर कंपनी कैन बाय अ डोमेन नेम and then host your emails on either on Outlook or on Gmail server. Okay, so what you're doing is directly you're using their service. Okay, software as a service. Okay, so on this axis which you see on the side, you have the control axis. So how much control you want over your system decides whether you want to go for an infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. If you want full control, then you will have to go for infrastructure as a service. So you will have control over the operating system, which version of operating system, what software, everything will be yours. It will just be that the physical server is not at in your company, it is in the cloud. Physically वो server आपको दिखेगा नहीं, बाकी वो सब कुछ आप उसमें जो करना चाहो कर सकते हो. But you will have to, the effort required is more, but you have full control. Platform as a service में you have slightly lesser control, but you can build your own applications, you can customize your software the way you want. Okay, so the user will see exactly what you want them to see. Okay, you can control everything there in terms of the front end and the way, because the programming can be done for that platform. Software as a service, where you have no such control. So you cannot change the look and the feel, or the you cannot change the entire process. Business flows have to be adapted to those requirements of that software. Okay, so those things have to be. Just a second. Let me. All right. I'm sorry. So I hope I'm back with everybody again. Right. All right. So everybody's understood the three service models which are there, right? Okay. So these are the three service models. Now you have three types of clouds. Actually, there are more also nowadays, but basically two. But there are three types of clouds we say. They are called as public clouds, private clouds, and hybrid clouds. Okay, so you have the public cloud, the private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. So what is the public cloud? What is a private cloud? Okay, there is a possibility. So you can, as I told you, all those options which I gave you right now were all public clouds. Okay, जो भी नाम मैंने लिए. Okay, Amazon Web Service, Adobe Cloud, IBM's clouds, and all of that. But there is an option that you can create your own cloud in your own office. That means you have to buy the physical infrastructure and then create a cloud service for yourself. If your organization is big enough, you can do that. Okay, and thereby allow to share your resources between the departments of your own organization. So you will be able to, do load balancing. You will be able to do that elasticity, which I was telling, sharing the resources, resource pooling, जैसे कहते हैं. All that is possible by building your own private cloud also. So actually, Amazon and all these Amazon Web Services and everything, they started out as a private cloud. उन्होंने private cloud में चालू की. Google ने भी अपना खुद का cloud बनाना चालू किया था internally, and then they put in so much of investment that then they realized that why not give it out as a service. Okay, and that's how things kept on progressing. Okay, so प्राइवेट क्लाउड्स में आप लोगों को कुछ नाम जो आपको बहुत पॉपुलर होंगे वो अगेन देयर इज IBM के सॉफ्टवेयर अवेलेबल है, ब्लू क्लाउड कहते हैं. देयर इज अनदर व्हिच इज कंपनी व्हिच इज वेरी पॉपुलर फॉर प्राइवेट क्लाउड्स इज कॉल्ड Citrix. Okay, so Citrix also, so many of these providers provide both public and private clouds. Okay, so sometimes वो confusing हो जाता है, but private clouds means that you will own the physical infrastructure and the cloud will be your own cloud, hosted by you, managed by you, controlled by you. Okay, by the company, that is. Okay, public cloud means that the data center is somewhere else and you don't have physical access to that data center. You cannot go and touch your server. Okay, you cannot physically check your hard disk. All of that is in the cloud. Okay, private cloud means you can do all of that. Okay, आजकल तो there is something called as there is something also called as a personal cloud. Personal cloud means you can actually build a small little cloud at your home also. So data जैसे हम लोग Dropbox करते हैं, so people use external drives, right? Somebody was talking about external hard disk drive. So external HDD की तरह nowadays you get drives which are connected to the internet. Okay, connected in your network. Okay, and they can be accessible from anywhere in the world through a screen, through a login. So therefore you can store your data like you store in Dropbox, like you store it in Google Drive, but that data is actually not stored on the cloud anywhere in the data center. It is actually stored at your home. Okay, or in your office, and these drives are available. कुछ 10-15 हजार से start होता है उसका minimum, and you can buy that hard disk which is connected to the internet, and then you can host all your data, and then you can use it. So now, what if you're worried about keeping the data private and not allowing the data to be on a public cloud, you can do that also. VPN is not a cloud. VPN is a form of an access to any resource. Okay, so if you are having so what happens is, for example, in my company, in my organization, we have our own servers where we host our entire ERP. हमारा ERP हमारा खुद में, we have built our own ERP system. Okay, we have not bought custom ready-made solution नहीं खरीदा है, हमने हमारा खुद का ERP पूरा create किया हुआ है. So and that ERP is hosted on our private server. Okay, in our organization. To connect to that server from my home, I need to create a secure connection, and that secure connection is created through a VPN. Okay, so that is one. So VPN basically means that एक internet access को भी हम the entire internet use करके हम connect कर रहे हैं, लेकिन my data is going through a process called as tunneling. That means anybody from outside cannot access my data. It's a higher level of security. So VPN is basically using the internet to securely connect to a server. Okay. So now there are multiple types of VPNs. एक VPN होता है जो मोबाइल फोन में जो यूज होता है, वो है कि अगर से फॉर एग्जांपल Indian government has blocked certain websites. Okay, so you cannot go to these websites if you directly browser में उसका website का address डालोगे तो आप नहीं जा सकते. Okay, you might be aware that जैसे Gulf countries में if you go to Gulf countries you cannot do video chatting. Okay, so जैसे WhatsApp पे video calls होते हैं, you cannot do it in Gulf countries. Many Gulf countries में blocked है. China में Facebook blocked है. Okay, so countries like these, if people want to go to Facebook or they want to do video chatting or WhatsApp mein, then they use a VPN service, a virtual private. So what happens is their data is not seen even by the government of that country. It goes through a VPN connection to some server outside the country, और वहां से वो Facebook का सर्वर को कनेक्ट होता है या WhatsApp सर्वर को कनेक्ट होता है. Therefore, distance बढ़ जाता है. Time taken for the data to travel is longer. However, because it is completely encrypted, even the government, they cannot see what data is coming into the country and what is going out. Okay, so VPN is a high level of security. It can be used for good and it can be misused also. Because there is no law against it. See, technically, what is the law? The law says that you should not use these websites in the country. But अगर आप उसको छुप के use कर रहे हो, तो it is not correct. VPN in itself is not a problem. VPN is legal because उसके good use भी है, but उसका bad use करोगे तो वो illegal होगा. Okay, so छुरी रखना is correct, right? छुरी रखना legal है, but छुरी से किसी का murder करना illegal है. So it's what do you use the VPN for is important. अगर VPN is being used by you to connect to your company server for commercial purposes, for legal purposes, then there is nothing wrong with VPN. But if you're using VPN to access a site which is illegal in India, then what you are doing is something which is illegal. Government can find out. It depends on, there are levels and levels, so if they really want to find out, yes, they can, but it's not that easy. No Tom, Dick and Harry can find it out. Okay, so it will require a level of sophistication. And they will not bother with checking with an individual unless they fear that the person is, a terrorist or some big scam or something like that. Other than that, no, they won't bother because it's too much of an effort. Okay, so the last type of cloud is called as a hybrid cloud. So a hybrid cloud kya hota hai? Hybrid cloud is where you are using a mix of everything. Mix of everything means you have a private cloud and you have public cloud. And there are some services which you host privately and some services which you host publicly. जैसे हमारे organization में, so our ERP is privately hosted, but our emails and many of our other services are publicly hosted on Microsoft Cloud. So Microsoft also provides its cloud. So we have some services which are provided through the Microsoft servers, some services which are provided through our private servers, and therefore we use both of them. So when as an employee, when I'm using these services, I don't realize कि ये मेरे कंपनी के सर्वर से डेटा आ रहा है या ये मेरा डेटा माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के सर्वर से आ रहा है. I am that thing is transparent to me. I cannot. It is not visible to me. I use them like anybody uses a browser and accesses all these information. So therefore, it is a hybrid cloud where we use both the types of clouds, private as well as public. Different servers have different kinds of service providers have different kinds of data localization and storage requirements. Some clouds, some data centers are in India, some data centers are overseas. You will have to read the documents and read the terms of agreements when you buy a cloud or when you are subscribing to a cloud to know where the data is going and where the data is coming from. Okay, so banks use private cloud or private cloud or private. I don't. What is the question? अरुण कुमार सर, आपका क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं आया. Banks use private cloud or private का मतलब क्या होता है? Do you mean private cloud or public cloud? Then the answer is that they would generally be using a mix of the both. So there are certain things which they will host on their own servers and certain things which they will host maybe on a shared server. Okay. For example, your ATM servers, right? There are some part of the transaction which is happening on the bank's private server, but there is some part of the transaction which is happening on third-party infrastructure. Because ATMs का जो connection है, वो third party से होता है. The entire infrastructure for an ATM is not owned by the bank. Okay, including card का swiping and all of that is not owned by the bank. Okay, so what I will do is I will read out the questions before answering those questions. Sorry, I still didn't realize that you all can't read the questions. So I will read the question and then I will answer. So you can keep posting your questions on over here. Don't go onto the WhatsApp for today's session at least. Okay. Mr. Sagar, again, the question is very difficult to answer because you have written what is the difference between VPS and VPS. So there's no difference between VPS and VPS, but if your question is what is the difference between VPS and VPN, then I can answer that. Yeah, I assume that it was that question. So virtual private server and virtual private network. Okay, full form to यही है. VPS का मतलब है that you are hosting, you are taking, it is VPS basically means infrastructure as a service cloud का example है वो. Okay, where you are buying a virtual server. Virtual private server मतलब वो server आपका हो गया. But it is virtual, physically नहीं है वो आपका. वो physically वो device आपकी नहीं है. Virtually वो device आपकी है. तो वो आप जब उसको कनेक्ट करते हो, you feel as if you are connected to your own server. उसमें आप जो चाहे इंस्टॉल कर सकते हो, जो करना चाहे कर सकते हो. Okay, so that is a virtual private server. अब उस सर्वर को कनेक्ट करने के लिए जो मैकेनिज्म आप यूज करते हो, या तो वो ओपन कनेक्शन हो सकता है, जैसे नॉर्मल इंटरनेट पे कनेक्शन होता है, HTTPS या HTTP जब हम लोग यूज करते हैं तो वो एक ओपन कनेक्शन होता है. दूसरा कनेक्शन का मैकेनिज्म है VPN. VPN means it is highly encrypted. So to connect to your server, whether it is a virtual private server or whether it is a physically private server. Physical private server means you own the infrastructure. In virtual private server, you don't own the physical server. You own the virtual server. But उसको दोनों को connect करने के लिए तरीका तो वो कोई भी हो सकता है. It can be VPN, okay, or it could be the regular normal access जो हम लोग बोलते हैं. Okay, am I clear on that? So VPN is how you connect to the server. And VPS is a type of a server where the server is virtual, not physically yours. It is virtually yours. Okay, am I clear on that? Okay, so the next question is what is data lock-in cloud? Data lock-in ka problem is the biggest problem according to me whenever you are considering about going into any software or hardware solution ever. Whether it is cloud या not a cloud, आप कोई भी जब भी कोई नया सॉफ्टवेयर या सिस्टम एम्प्लॉय करते हैं, डिप्लॉय करते हैं, सबसे पहले what I always consider when when I take decisions for my organization is whether my data will get locked in. Locked in का मतलब क्या है? जैसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ, आपका टैली का प्रॉब्लम आप देख लीजिए. आप लोगों का जितना सालों का डेटा अगर आपके टैली में है तो आप उसको लेके किसी और सॉफ्टवेयर पे इजीली मूव नहीं कर पाते हैं. माइग्रेशन बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज आपको वो माइग्रेशन का मतलब आप एक सॉफ्टवेयर, अगर समझो कल टैली बंद हो गई, कंपनी डूब गई, ओके, सडनली एक दिन बंद हो गई टैली, तो आपके डेटा का क्या होगा? Okay, can you envision that? That is called the data lock-in problem. In general, अब वो क्लाउड के बेसिस में क्या होता है कि अगर सपोज आपने कोई क्लाउड सर्विस खरीदी है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज आपने Amazon वेब सर्वर लिया है, तो Amazon वेब सर्वर में आपका पूरा आपका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, आपका सॉफ्टवेयर है, आपका हार्ड डेटा है, सब कुछ है. अगर कल आपको Amazon की वेब सर्विस बहुत महंगा पड़ रहा है और सपोज देयर इज अ चीपर सोल्यूशन अवेलेबल, हाउ डू यू मूव योर डेटा? जैसे नंबर पोर्टेबिलिटी हुआ करता था ना एक जमाने में कि हमारा मोबाइल का नंबर एक अगर वोडाफोन में है तो वोडाफोन को छोड़ के फिर हमको अगर एयरटेल पे जाना है तो हमारा नंबर छोड़ना पड़ता था, सो वी यूज्ड टू लूज आउट समथिंग। Number portability में क्या हो गया, we can migrate a number from one service provider to the other. So can I migrate my entire data from one cloud to another cloud? If I can do that, then my data is not locked in. If I cannot do that, then my data is considered locked in. Okay, then I have a problem of lock-in. Okay. So VPN, yes, is highly secure. So the Mahendra Tiwari sir, I think, is a statement. It's not a question. So yes, it is secure. VPN is more secure than regular connection. Okay. So as I said, VPN can be used for multiple. VPN एक technology, उसको आप बहुत अलग-अलग तरीके से use कर सकते हो. So the question here which I'm trying to answer is Mr. Anil Pawar has asked that Norton provides VPN along with antivirus. If one changes the location of some other country, what is the use of it? It is basically hiding your location from hackers. तो जब आप VPN use करके किसी सर्वर को कनेक्ट करते हो तो सर्वर कैन हैकर कैन नॉट ट्रेस यू वेयर यू आर. Okay, so it is a level of security which you can build into your system. Okay, to prevent it is a way of preventing hackers from attacking you. What uptime is normally committed by public clouds? We have a backend 99.9. So there is a question by Mr. Prashant Deshpande about uptime. So he says that we have a backend 99.95%. Commitment to the client. So if you have a 99.95% commitment to the client, public clouds can give you up to 99.99% uptime ka guarantee. There are cloud services which will give you a 99.99% uptime guaranteed. Okay. In fact, if you having your own infrastructure, it is very difficult to guarantee that much of uptime. Okay. Clouds are the only solution, because they have enough resources to provide you that kind of a thing. Uptime का मतलब, okay, Mr. Vineet is asking what is uptime. Uptime means अगर आप कोई सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं तो आप क्या गारंटी दे रहे हैं कि वो सर्विस कितने वक्त विदाउट इंटरप्शन चलेगी. ओके, तो अगर हम लोग कहेंगे कि मुंबई के अंदर BEST जो हमारा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई करता है उसका अपटाइम क्या है, तो आप जब बटन दबाते हो तो क्या आप सोचते हो कि बटन दबाने के पहले की लाइट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होगी कि नहीं होगी, बत्ती जलेगी कि नहीं जलेगी? यू डोंट थिंक अबाउट इट, राइट? यू नो फॉर श्योर कि वो जलेगी. तो एक आधा बार अगर साल में कभी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ऑफ हो जाती है, कट जाती है, तो यू गेट शॉक्ड. सो अगर आपका electricity is running 7 days a week, 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and उसमें से अगर वो आपकी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आधे घंटे के लिए जाती है पूरे साल में, तो that half an hour divided by the total number of hours in a year is the uptime. Okay, for electricity, same thing for computers. आपका सर्वर कब तक चलते रहेगा? तो अगर 100% अपटाइम मतलब वो कभी डाउन नहीं होगा. सर्वर विल बी रनिंग 100% एवरी डे, एनी टाइम, 24/7. If a private VPN is used by a private employee of an organization, then the company will not be able to track कि उसने क्या किया. The activity cannot be monitored. By definition, VPN is completely secure. So security का दूसरा disadvantage है कि nobody can know what is being done. Oh, too many questions. Wow. ठीक है. See, what I'm saying with data lock-in problem, Mr. Panjwani is asking about the lock-in problem. कि ऐसा lock-in problem क्यों है? Why cannot I move my data from one to the other? You can move your data theoretically. Theoretically, yes, answer possible है. Suppose आपका data flat files में है. Flat files मतलब जैसे Excel files होती है ना, अगर आपकी Excel फाइल है, आप Excel फाइल डाउनलोड करके किसी और में अपलोड कर दोगे, बहुत इजीली चेंज हो जाएगा। बट अगर आपके डेटाबेस में डेटा है, ओके, तो वो जो डेटाबेस होता है वो अगर सपोज किसी सॉफ्टवेयर का डेटाबेस है तो वो डायरेक्टली मूविंग पॉसिबल आसानी से होगा या नहीं होगा। एक सिंपल एग्जांपल देता हूं मैं, अगर आपके आईफोन में आपके कॉन्टैक्ट्स हैं और उसको अगर आपको एंड्रॉइड में लाना है, या अगर आपके आईफोन में आपके व्हाट्सएप के मैसेजेस हैं, आईफोन या अगर आपके व्हाट्सएप के मैसेजेस आपके आईफोन में, और अगर आप कल आईफोन 11 या 12 जो भी आएगा आगे उसको नहीं खरीदते हो और आपको एंड्रॉइड फोन पसंद आ गया और आप एंड्रॉइड फोन में जाते हो, तो आप अपने व्हाट्सएप के मैसेजेस कैसे लाओगे? इज इट डिफिकल्ट और नॉट? सो इफ यू नो द प्रॉब्लम देन यू नो दैट इट इज व्हाट इज द डेटा लॉक इन प्रॉब्लम। ये किसी भी सॉफ्टवेयर टू सॉफ्टवेयर में जाने में कभी कभी होता है। कोई सॉफ्टवेयर, सम सॉल्यूशन, सम क्लाउड्स are very good at providing migration. Some are not. Some don't want you to leave, so they will create situations where your data gets locked in. So you have to be careful of using things which are, why people prefer Android even today. Though there are some faults with it, one of the advantages of Android is your data is never locked in. आप अपना कोई भी डेटा अपने फोन में से डाउनलोड कर सकते हो, including your phone contacts, everything can be migrated very easily to any other device. Okay, Android to iPhone जाना बहुत easy है, iPhone to Android आना बहुत difficult है। मतलब एप्लीकेशन की डेटा की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, कॉन्टैक्ट्स तो शायद कर भी लोगे, बट एप्लीकेशन डेटा मतलब आपके सारे एप्लीकेशन सडनली यू विल फाइंड करे वो उसमें रह गया, वो उधर रह गया, वैसा होगा। हाँ, तो जानबूझ के सपोर्ट नहीं करते ना, सम क्लाउड डोंट सपोर्ट सर्टेन एप्लीकेशन जानबूझ के, या उनका रिस्ट्रिक्शन है जो भी है, बट दैट इज व्हाट माय लॉक इन इज प्रॉब्लम ना, कि मुझे अगर यूज करना था आई कैन नॉट यूज इट द फ्रीली द वे आई वांट इट। लेट मी वेरी क्विकली गो थ्रू द क्वेश्चंस नाउ बिकॉज़ अदरवाइज मैं नेक्स्ट टॉपिक पे नहीं जा पाऊंगा। Data we stored in cloud can be accessed by service provider or not? Generally, there are precautions by which your data cannot be accessed. It is encrypted. So if you use encrypted storage, then your data cannot be accessed by anybody other than you. Even by the people who host it cannot access your data if you use encryption. You can use encryption to prevent anybody from accessing your data. Can we use VPN to make private calls from a country where internet calls are prohibited? Yes, technically possible. Okay, so last year, for example, I was in Iraq. Okay, so I used to make WhatsApp calls to my friends in India. Okay, using a VPN service. No, once a VPN is allowed, then you can access anything. So if you have a good firewall, a firewall can prevent access to certain VPNs also. वो VPN को एक्सेस ही बंद कर देगा, वो ऐसा स्पेसिफिकली VPN के थ्रू फेसबुक बंद करना मुश्किल है। अगर वो VPN अलाउ करेगा तो देन यू कैन नॉट कंट्रोल व्हाट वी कैन बी एक्सेस्ड। हाँ, VPN को एक्सेस करना ब्लॉक किया जा सकता है बाय सम फायरवॉल्स। See, if I am using a VPN privately, मेरा प्राइवेट VPN, कंपनी का VPN की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं, अगर मैं अपने मशीन के ऊपर एक प्राइवेट VPN सर्विस यूज करता हूँ, then what I do on my laptop or my computer, the company cannot spy on me. Okay, so the question which is asked by Bhakti is, what if an employee is using his VPN, then why can't the company get it? So I'm saying, अगर company का VPN use कर रहे तो बात अलग है, but if I'm using my private VPN, then even my company cannot access what I'm doing. So I can use a private VPN, but I can pay money for it and access. Yeah, we can't. We can't put a login for a particular website using a VPN. That's not possible. I'm not reading the comments. Some of the comments are there, but I'm assuming not to read them because there are too many questions. Can public clouds providing IaaS infrastructure as a service, partition of data client-wise, and what is the period of storage? So that is up to you. You can do whatever you want. Infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service में you have full control, so you can do it for any number of time, for whatever period you want. Are private VPN safe to use? That depends on the VPN which you're using. It's a third party resource. You should trust. There are some VPNs which are shady, not very legal, so dangerous हो सकता है VPN. I don't personally use a VPN unless it's absolutely necessary. कंपनी VPN मतलब कंपनी कैन प्रोवाइड अ VPN एक्सेस टू इट्स ओन सर्वर्स, तो वो अलग बात हो गई ना. कंपनी खुद एम्प्लॉयज को बोल रही है VPN के थ्रू एक्सेस करो हमारा सर्वर, तो उनका खुद का VPN होगा. प्राइवेट कंपनी ने सी VPN इज अ सर्विस व्हिच यू कैन बाय. ओके, सो अगर आप वो कर रहे हो या आपने खुद ने अपना VPN अगर डेवलप किया है, वो भी पॉसिबल है डेवलप करना खुद का, बट जनरली हम लोग रेडीमेड सोल्यूशन खरीदते हैं, वो सस्ता पड़ता है. तो वो अगर आप खुद आपकी कंपनी ने आपको दिया है टू एक्सेस योर ओन कंपनी सर्वर, देन दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. प्राइवेट VPN जैसे अगर आप अपना एंटीवायरस खरीदते हो ना, तो आपके मशीन के अंदर यू कैन आल्सो गेट एन ओन VPN सर्विस. ओके, आजकल ऑल एंटीवायरस सर्विस सॉफ्टवेयर्स कम विद अ ऑप्शन ऑफ creating your own private VPN. Then if you want to use that, then it is very difficult for the company to keep a track of आपके कंप्यूटर से डेटा कौन भी एक्सेस कर रहा है या कितना एक्सेस कर रहा है. All right. I understand the questions are getting too much, so I will stop for the questions now and we'll move to the next presentation. Okay. So, see, what happens is, we need to solve the questions because I understand there is a fine line between how many questions to solve and how many not to solve. So, interactive session में वो तो होना ही वाला है कि some of you all might feel कि अरे बाप रे ये question क्यों वापस आ रहा है. So I will try to be judicious in the taking the questions. So please don't mind if I don't take your questions also. Okay, तो दोनों तरफ से होता है. Okay. Okay, so not all questions might get answered there. So some people are commenting that why we can take the questions at the end, which is correct. We are short on time otherwise. So encryption, decryption, and digital signatures. What I'm doing today is I'm just doing very quickly a demonstration. Okay, so what I'm doing is a demonstration. I'm using ये जो screen है. Of course, I will be sharing the PPT, so don't worry about anything. This is a software which I'm going to use, GPG 4Win. For 4Win means for Windows. Okay. GPG stands for GNU Pretty Good Privacy. PGP करके एक protocol है, Pretty Good Privacy, which allows users to create their own encryption, secret key, private key जो हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, public key, वो करने के लिए. All right. So let's go to the. So what I'm doing is I'm using, as I told you, this is the software which I've installed. The screen जो आपको अभी दिखाया था मैंने, that's okay. So when you install this software, okay, I'll send you the link as well to install the software if you want to try it at home. This software allows you to connect and I'm sorry, I'm a little disturbed with some of the comments, so let's I'll try to ignore them now. So once you install the software, you will get an icon on your desktop called as Cleopatra. Okay, so when you open this Cleopatra, everybody can see my screen, right? Yes. Okay, so this is the screen. So if you go to File, you can create a new key pair. key pair, if you remember, public key, private key. Okay, so there is a pair of keys, right? So this is how you can create a key pair. As I will create a key and I'll show you how encryption and decryption works. Okay. So when you say new key pair, when I click on that new key pair, it gives me an option, okay, to choose the format. Okay, you can always revisit the video, and the video will be stored in a 24 hours time. So you can come back to the video tomorrow and revisit the steps if you want to. Okay, so I'm creating a PGP, stand for pretty good privacy. Okay, so PGP is one of the protocols. There are many other protocols which are available. I'm using PGP. This software uses PGP to create encryption and decryption keys. Okay, public key, private key pairs. Now this key is a personal key which I'm creating. Therefore, I'm using the first option. There is a second option, which is if you want to use a certification authority, means a third party which will authorize your key. Just say you all use digital signatures, you you use from a third party which is sanctioned by the government. So if you want to do that, then that is also possible. If X, so the protocol which is used is X.509 in this case. If it is supported by the organization which you are working for, then you can create it with that also. But let's not discuss about that right now. We will talk about the Open PGP. Okay, so the Open PGP key pair is what we will be using. Okay, so when we create a personal Open PGP, it asks you for a name and email address. Okay, so right now I'll just, I'm sorry, I just happened to click something by mistake. Okay, I repeat. So I can put a name. So let me put a name. Let's say, okay, let's create a name called Amitabh Bachchan. Okay, and you can create an email ID. Okay, so let me just use some email ID. Email. I'm using my email ID. Okay, and there are advanced settings. If you want, you can use it. But if you don't want to use any advanced settings, you can just directly click on next. Okay, so advanced settings, you can change it. Okay, so if I show the details over here, these are the advanced settings which are being done. So, कौन सा algorithm use होगा? RSA is an encryption algorithm. Okay, उसका key जो हमारा बनेगा वो 2048 bits का key होगा. Bits, I hope you know what are bits. Ones and zeros. Computing में are bits. So the size of the key is 2048 bits. Okay, and that is being used for. And the validity of that is currently only for today, 25th May. If I want, I can go back and in the advanced settings, I can actually change the validity of this key. Okay, for 1 year, for 1 month, for a week, only till tomorrow, only for today. You can change whatever you want. Okay, you can also provide whether you want authentication for this or not. All of that is possible. Okay, in the advanced settings. So when you click on next over here, you will be able to see that. So this is valid till 25th of May. If I want to change that and I want to make it available till tomorrow, then I can select 26th over here. So automatically, when I click on next over here, you will see 26th of May tak ye valid rahegi, this key pair. Okay, so the expiry of the key also is very important. So when you click on next, automatically the machine will start generating something called as random numbers, and random numbers are very important for encryption. Okay, वो कभी अलग time पे discuss करेंगे अगर चाहिए तो why random numbers are important. Okay, and then it asks me for a passphrase. This is, you can think of it as a password. Okay, so जो key generate होगी उसको open करने के लिए हमारा no, the validity of the key is minimum for 1 day in this protocol. Okay, so somebody is asking for how long it is valid. So minimum is 1 day. Maximum can be whatever you want. It depends on the protocol. Okay, so the passphrase is whatever you want. So it's a phrase which you want. So I'm writing it as ICAI 2020. Okay, मैं जोर से बोल रहा हूँ so that everybody knows it. Okay, so you can see it also now. ICAI 2020. This is my passphrase. Okay, generally it should not be visible, but if you want to see it, and for you all, I'm keeping it open. Okay, now when I click on OK, it is also telling me the quality of my passphrase. So if it is 80%, that means it's not very good. You can try to create a much more complicated, just at the rate and underscores and percentage signs and all of that you can put in. So the moment I did that, now you can see that my key pair has successfully been created. Now what can I do? So there is a key pair, right? So there is two keys. One is a public key, one is a private key. So I can keep a backup of the key by clicking on this button, make a backup of your key pair on your own machine. So you can keep it for yourself. You can also send your public key. Public key मैंने कहा था ना, it is public. Anybody, so you can send it by email to somebody else or upload it to a directory service. अब ये जो third option है ना, I will discuss it at the end of my session today. Towards the end of my session, I will be discussing about a Kerberos protocol. वहां पे मैं इसका डिस्कस करूंगा कि what is this directory service और वहां पे क्यों भेजना है. Okay, so we will talk about that towards the end. But if I want to send it to my friends, so suppose I want to send it to all my friends, so that when they send me an email, they can use my public key to encrypt the email. When they encrypt the email using my public key, nobody else can decrypt that email other than me, who has the secret key. So there are two keys: private key, which is called the secret key, private key, and there is a public key, which is not private. Okay, so it is not secret. It can be sent to anybody. The public key से अगर आपने encrypt किया, तो it can only be decrypted with my secret key. Okay, so that is called encryption and decryption. So there is asymmetric key encryption. एक key से lock होगा, एक दूसरी key से unlock होगा. Okay, so public key से अगर आप lock करोगे, तो मेरी private key से वो unlock होगा. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making a backup of my key and putting it on my desktop so that I can use it whenever I want. Okay, so I have a folder called चलो ये folder नहीं use करते हैं, अभी मैं एक नया folder बना देता हूँ, new folder desktop पे बनाता हूँ. Okay, my keys, and I can save the file with any name I want. I will save it with Amit. Okay, name as Amit. So this is my key. I can send it via email also. Okay, so when it is saving it, it is asking me for my passphrase because उसके अंदर secret key है, so it is not allowing me to save it without knowing sure that I have the password for it. So I will put ICAI 2020. Okay, so my key has been successfully exported onto my hard disk. So secret key successfully exported. Okay, now I have this key. See, whenever you want confidentiality, अगर आपको आपका data confidential रखना है, किसी और को share नहीं करना है, तो आपको encryption काम आएगा. So the question is, when is encryption recommended? Whenever you want to. Okay, so finish. Now, to see this, there are many ways I can do this. I'm just doing this on the notepad within the PGP. Suppose अगर मुझे कोई message किसी को भेजना है, तो I will write my email over here. Hello ICAI participants. I hope you are fine. Okay, so now decryption agar so the question is, why is decryption needed? Decryption means, see, if I encrypt it, what will happen? See, if I encrypt this, अब ये जो हमारा data है ना, अगर मैं इसको encrypt करता हूँ, यहाँ पे बटन है encrypt करने के लिए, it is asking me for a passphrase, which is my password. Okay, so I'm using a passphrase. Let me use this is a separate passphrase. Okay, this is a password which I'm using. 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is the passphrase which I'm using. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'm repeating it. Is reconfirm कर रहा है वो मेरा passphrase. Okay, I'm using it to encrypt this message. So the moment I do OK, now वो मुझे मेरा एक्चुअल जो मेरा की यूज कर रहा हूँ ना मैं प्राइवेट मेरा सिक्योर, वो उसका पासवर्ड. सो उसका पासवर्ड अगर आपको याद होगा, ICAI 2020. So the message is saying please enter the passphrase to unlock the secret key. तो secret key मेरा जो था वो unlock करने के लिए मेरा passphrase आपको याद होगा. तो अगर मैं ये डालता हूँ, तो when I click on OK, can't see my screen. Can you see my screen here? You can use every message different password now. Then it is much more secure, right? You can use the same password if you want. Okay, so now what you see over here, ये जो मैंने message लिखा था ना आपको, क्या message लिखा था? हेलो ICAI participants, ईद मुबारक, जो सब लिखा था ना, उसको ये encrypt करके अभी ये जो आप देख रहे हो ये हो गया. अब मैं अगर ये मैं किसी को, I can copy this and email it to anybody. कोई भी आप इसमें से पढ़ सकते हो कि क्या लिखा है, कभी नहीं पढ़ पाओगे। यू विल हैव टू डिक्रिप्ट इट। तो आपके पास भी ये सॉफ्टवेयर होगा और मैं आपके पास, अगर मैं आपको की दूंगा तो ही आप डिक्रिप्ट कर पाओगे। ओके, तो सपोज ना अभी मेरे पास ऑप्शन नहीं है टू सेंड इट टू एनीबॉडी एंड यूज इट, सो फॉर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन पर्पसेस आई विल डिक्रिप्ट इट ऑन माय सेम मशीन। सो आई हैव एन ऑप्शन टू डिक्रिप्ट। सो व्हेन आई क्लिक ऑन डिक्रिप्ट, I'm sorry, when I click on decrypt, you will see the messages come back again. So notepad में लिखा है valid signature by mail@asifr.me. तो ये validity मतलब this is saying that this has been sent by this email address. ये validation हो गया. So authentication जिसे कहते हैं, okay, that this is truly sent by Asif. Yeah, sorry, in this case Amitabh Bachchan, because this email ID has been verified. ये इस email ID से encrypt हुआ था, तो now it has been decrypted. Okay, so this is not part of that class 2 class 3 जो आप लोग use करते हो, because this is using something called a different protocol called as PGP, pretty good privacy. इसमें class नहीं होता. I'm just explaining how encryption decryption works. I'm using so Cleopatra is a free software, absolutely free. You can use it. That's why I'm using it, because इसमें कोई cost नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. Okay. This will not be accepted by your your tax tribunals and all of that. मतलब आपके GST council या वो लोग वहाँ पे यूज नहीं allow नहीं करेंगे ये. They will require you to use the paid ones. Okay. So you understood. This is a small demonstration of how you can encrypt and decrypt. So if you encrypt again. Just for people, I want to encrypt again. Key एक है, passphrase अलग है. Key is different, passphrases are different. See, integrity of the message मतलब ये अगर आप मैसेज में से अगर मैं कुछ भी डिलीट कर दूं ना बीच में से, just as an example, सपोज मैंने कुछ डिलीट कर दिया या कुछ चेंज कर दिया, डिक्रिप्ट करने जाऊंगा ना तो एरर देगा, डिक्रिप्शन फेल्ड. So if anybody changes even one alphabet, one character of this message will not be decrypted. You will immediately know that somebody has fidgeted with the message. No, this is not a hash value. Hash values are different. Hash values are what अगर आपने initially देखा होगा, there was something called as a fingerprint. So fingerprint is a hash value. Hash value, I will. So somebody asked me, is it a hash value? So this is not a hash value. This is an encrypted text. We call it cipher text. CIPHER, cipher. So it's a cipher text. That means it is an encrypted data. So it is actually data but encrypted. Okay, so यहाँ पे दो keys use हो रही है, private key and public key. See, if you're, how do you, so there is a very good question somebody has asked me, how can I communicate the private passphrase to the other person? तो अगर मेरे पास सामने वाले का, जिसको मुझे ये मैसेज भेजना है, अगर उसकी पब्लिक की मेरे पास होगी, पब्लिक की वो मुझे ईमेल कर सकता है, तो पब्लिक की यूज करके मैं कुछ भी डेटा एनक्रिप्ट करके उसको भेजूंगा तो वो डिक्रिप्ट कर लेगा. So एनक्रिप्शन के लिए मुझे सिर्फ पब्लिक की चाहिए. ओके, एनक्रिप्शन के लिए मुझे उसकी पब्लिक की चाहिए, डिक्रिप्शन के लिए उसकी प्राइवेट की चाहिए. ओके, सो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है ना, आई एम डूइंग बोथ, आई एम द एनक्रिप्टर आल्सो एंड द डिक्रिप्टर आल्सो, इसलिए थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग होगा, बट यू कैन इमेजिन दैट देयर आर टू कीज, देयर इज वन फॉर द एनक्रिप्शन, वन फॉर डिक्रिप्शन. तो एनक्रिप्ट पब्लिक की अगर मेरे पास होगी तो आई विल एनक्रिप्ट इट एंड सेंड इट. Oh, because it is on the same machine, I've already put in the passphrase. Because it's on the same machine, it is not asking me. तो same software में हो रहा है ना यहाँ पे, because I don't have two machines to show you, so it didn't ask me the password again. pass phrase is for the secret key. Secret key मतलब private key. ICAI 2020 is my secret key का pass phrase. Now, अगर आप देखेंगे तो what will happen is my message was very small, but उसको इतना बड़ा message बन गया ना, it became so anybody cannot guess the size of the message from the encrypted message. Please understand that. Okay, so this is a good question. Digital signature के ऊपर है. The question is digital signature में what happens when you sign your audit report using a class 2 digital signature? Are you using a private key or are you using a public key? And what does the income tax department do when they receive the audit report with the report? So see, क्या होता है? आपको जो की मिलती है, ओके, उसमें आपको आपकी सीक्रेट की भी मिलती है, पब्लिक की भी मिलती है. You are receiving it from a third party. We call it a certifying authority. सर्टिफाइंग अथॉरिटी जिसे हम लोग CA कहते हैं, शॉर्ट फॉर्म में CA, सर्टिफाइंग अथॉरिटी. तो आप जब व्हेन यू बाय योर डिजिटल सिग्नेचर फ्रॉम समवेयर, you are receiving a certificate, you are receiving a public and private key. They know your public key. The public key is kept with them. Public key public होती है ना, तो it is kept with them. The secret key is with you in your pen drive. जो आपके पास जो डिजिटल सिग्नेचर होता है उसमें. When you digitally sign your document, any audit report or any document, it is some part of that document is encrypted using your secret key. For example, आपका नाम, आपका ईमेल एड्रेस, आपका प्राइवेट डिटेल्स, जैसे आपका जो रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर होगा, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट का जो भी आपका नंबर होता है, वो सारी चीजें एनक्रिप्ट होती है यूजिंग योर प्राइवेट की. यूजिंग योर प्राइवेट की, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. सीक्रेट की, प्राइवेट की मतलब सीक्रेट की. अब ये की से जो लॉक हुआ है ना, वो आपके पास ही है. वो की किसी और के पास नहीं है. तो जब इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट के पास जाता है वो रिपोर्ट, और वो जब उसको डिक्रिप्ट करते हैं यूजिंग योर पब्लिक की, once it gets decrypted using your public key, it means it is guaranteed that it was sent by the CA only. Because in this case, if Mr. Panjwani has asked the question, so suppose Panjwani sir sends it to IT department, Panjwani sir का नाम उनकी सीक्रेट की से लॉक करके भेजा गया है. अगर IT डिपार्टमेंट उसको अनलॉक करता है यूजिंग पंजवानी सर पब्लिक की, तो ये गारंटी है, अगर उसमें से पंजवानी सर का नाम आता है, कि मतलब ये पंजवानी सर ने ही भेजा था. क्यों? क्योंकि पंजवानी सर की से अगर लॉक हुआ था, तभी वो पंजवानी सर की पब्लिक की से अनलॉक होगा. तो पंजवानी सर की सीक्रेट की से लॉक होगा, तो पंजवानी सर की पब्लिक की से अनलॉक होगा. अगर वो पब्लिक की से अनलॉक हो रहा है, मतलब ये पंजवानी सर ने ही भेजा है. तो कल उठ के पंजवानी सर ये नहीं कह सकते कि ये ऑडिट रिपोर्ट मैंने भेजा ही नहीं, कि मैंने जो ऑडिट रिपोर्ट भेजा था वो अलग है. यू कैन नॉट क्लेम दैट. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड डिजिटली साइंड. यस, नॉन रेप्यूडिएशन. Another good question is Mr. Anil Pawar has asked is, does encryption create same size cipher for different size messages? Yes. Many of the time. Unless your message is very, very large, then it will be creating in the same size blocks. So suppose it is creating a 2000 byte ka block, then it will create multiple 2000 bytes ka block. It will, बीच में आपको पता नहीं चलेगा कि 10 बाइट है कि 2000 बाइट है. सी पब्लिक की आपका तो पब्लिक में डोमेन में है. वो आपने जब की खरीदा सर्टिफाइंग CA अथॉरिटी से, जब आपने खरीदा, तब आपकी पब्लिक की उनके पास है, CA अथॉरिटी के पास है. यू एनीबडी कैन टेक इट फ्रॉम द CA अथॉरिटी. आपका पब्लिक की तो पब्लिक है ना, उसको बाय डेफिनेशन वो पब्लिक है. इट इज पब्लिकली एक्सेसिबल टू एनीबडी कैन चेक इट. सो IT डिपार्टमेंट हैज एन एक्सेस टू दैट, तो वो चेक कर लेते हैं. Yes, so many of the times IT department आपके जो बैंक डॉक्यूमेंट्स आते हैं वो encrypted आते हैं and they ask you to open it using your say your PAN number. तो PAN number is used as a passphrase. So उनको मालूम है कि वो आपको आपका PAN number मालूम है. Nobody else knows your PAN number. So वो PAN number use करते हैं passphrase के लिए या फिर they use your birth date as your passphrase. That is because they know it and you know it. Anybody else cannot open it because they don't know the passphrase. Okay, so the question again is whether I use symmetric or asymmetric. So I've used asymmetric. PGP uses asymmetric key. RSA algorithm जो मैंने बताया RSA, it's a asymmetric key algorithm. So the last question I will take on this is Mr. Kuldeep Gupta's cryptography के ऊपर ये last question है. The question is कि अगर आप if you are unable to decrypt it, then what can you do? What can be done? Is there any chance that a decryption could not be done? And what are the solution there? So if it has been encrypted using the key pair, in this case public key से अगर encrypt होगा तो private key से undecrypt होगा, guarantee 100%. अगर डिक्रिप्ट नहीं हो रहा है मतलब somebody has fidgeted with that information, जैसे कुछ डिलीट कर दिया है, कुछ चेंज कर दिया. If anybody changes even one character of that message, then that message will not get decrypted, and such message cannot be decrypted ever in the future. The moment one bit of that data changes, it is non-decrypt. You cannot decode it ever. Impossible. Okay, and suppose आपके पास key, if you lose your key, then to decrypt it is even more difficult. RSA algorithm को decrypt करने के लिए without the key will take you at least 3 years using highly sophisticated equipment. If I put it on decryption एक लैपटॉप पे लगा के रखूंगा तो उसको ब्रेक करने को उसको 3 साल लगेगा. Without the passphrase, अगर मैं उसको सारे passphrase automatic उसको अगर हमको passphrase मालूम नहीं है और मैं उसको बोलूं नहीं computer will break the code, so it will take 3 years for anybody to break that code. Okay, so those are the questions. So let's move ahead. So the next thing we talk about is security policy. So this is a quote which is from an IT consultant which I like. The centrality of information security policies to virtually everything that happens in the information security field is increasingly evident. For example, system administrators cannot securely install a firewall unless they have received a set of clear information security policies. These policies will stipulate the type of transmission services that should be permitted, how to authenticate the identities of the users, and how to log in security relevant events and all of that. Okay, so this is a real IT consultant का quote है, Mr. Charles Wood. Okay, and I will try to talk about a little bit about security policies very quickly. Security policies, मैंने पूछा था last time if many of you all have any security policies in place in your companies, and many of you all were not aware of it. Many of the companies do have. If it's a small firm with 1 or 2 people, you might not have a security policy written in front of you. Then the answer is that you should frame a policy. Even if it is a short and sweet policy, you should still frame it. Okay, how to frame security policies, उसके ऊपर काफी material आपको online मिलेगा. If you want, I can even share some links later. While policies themselves do not solve any problems, which is very true, in fact, can actually complicate things unless they are clearly written and observed. Policy does define the ideal towards what all organizations' efforts should point towards. Okay, and please remember this: security policy refers to clear, comprehensive, and well-defined plans, rules and practices to regulate access to an organization systems and information included on it. Okay, so it has to be very clear, comprehensive and well-defined plans, rules and practices which will regulate how you access your resources and your data. Okay, this policy is very important because otherwise ना companies में बहुत सारी चीजों का ये होता है कि employees को पता ही नहीं होता कि हमको ये allowed नहीं है. तो क्या allowed है? Fair use जिसे कहते हैं, we use the word fair use. Fair use has to be defined. You cannot leave it to good judgment of individuals. Okay, so your resources, for example, एक simple सा logic है. जैसे for example, do you expect the company का stapler to be taken home for stapling your children's projects? There has to be a policy against it, right? There has to be a policy. The stapler belongs to the company. It should not be used for personal use. Similarly, अगर आपका laptop है, if you give a laptop to your employee, do you prevent him from using it for personal use? If there is a policy like that, you have to clearly define it. उसका क्या फायदा होगा? How to implement that is another story. Okay. So there are certain things which are implementable sometimes. So when you're defining policies, you have to be reasonable also, and you have to be precise. So like HR policies, your security policies also has to be defined. Okay. So there should not be any conflict of the policy guidelines. There should not be any conflict of the policy guidelines, okay, with the law. That is very important. Okay, आपकी policy cannot supersede the law of the land. It has to be within the law, within the purview of law के अंदर होना चाहिए. Correct? There should not be any, the policy standard should be such that in case of any court hearing, the crime can be handled. So you have to have those provisions in place, and the policy should be supported and managed properly. It should be reviewed regularly, and the update should be made, okay, on the basis of the environment changes, circumstances, and experience ke basis pe you can change the policy time to time, not too frequently. This list, I cannot read it out right now, but I have kept it for you all to read in your free time. So afterward, after the session, if you want to ask certain questions, so this is basically a guideline. This is a checklist. If you want to develop your own security policy, this checklist will help you. Okay, this security this will help you in formulating your entire policy. Next topic is authentication. Okay, so what is authentication? Authentication, matlab, for most of us, authentication can be done using passwords. One-time password, OTP, everybody knows. Okay, and so we will talk about authentication in general, one-time passwords, and then we'll talk about a little bit about computer security classification also as we go ahead. So let's talk about one by one. So authentication can be in the form of username, password is one form of authentication. Correct. You all might be using some kind of a smart card or RFID tags. अगर आप लोग some companies में होते हैं, employees get one to access the different rooms or services in the organization. So they can be cards or keys. We use that. Some people call them as RFID card, smart card. Some people call them as keys. Hotels में आपने use किया होगा when you go to a hotel. Yeah, FASTag is an example of that as well. And the third one is biometric. So authentication can be also biometric like in your fingerprint or your retina scan, जैसे आधार में use होता है. Okay, so Aadhaar uses both, right? Your fingerprint and your retina has been scanned and kept. Okay, so in future, whenever you go for a passport, okay, you don't have to say, in future we will not be able to require to submit so many documents, right? हमारा fingerprint and eye scan किया के everything will be data will be available to them. So passport के लिए we will not have that much of a problem which you used to have in the earlier. Okay. Now, one time passwords, OTP जो कहते हैं, okay, OTP can be generated in many ways. पहला वाला जो which is very common everybody understands is the random number. Random number मतलब जब भी आप लोग बैंक का कोई ट्रांजैक्शन करते हैं एक OTP हमारे मोबाइल पे SMS आता है. It is a random number. Okay. आज डिस्कशन के लिए टाइम बचा नहीं है बट रैंडम नंबर के ऊपर बहुत बड़ा डिस्कशन हो सकता है कि रैंडम नंबर कैसे जनरेट होता है. ओके एंड रैंडम नंबर शुड बी रैंडम राइट. So how does it and nobody knows about it. Okay, there is also another option of OTP which is called a secret key. I don't know आप लोगों ने use किया है कि नहीं, but many of the services which we use support something called as two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication मतलब आपके मोबाइल पे एक ऐप होता है जो एक नंबर जनरेट करता है, ऐप जनरेट करता है, not an SMS. SMS मतलब नेटवर्क से आता है, बट मोबाइल पे अगर ऐप जनरेट करता है वो प्रोसेस होता है which is called a, so there can be hardware devices also. I remember कोटक डीमैट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता था पहले, अब मुझे याद नहीं है, पहले मेरे फ्रेंड के पास मैंने देखा हुआ था, शायद आप लोगों के पास और एग्जांपल्स होंगे. कीचेन जैसे ही आती है उस पे बटन दबाया तो you have an LCD display and you see numbers on it and that number is required by you to enter during the transaction. ओके सो पासवर्ड तो चीज होती है जो आपको पता होती है, बट ये जो सीक्रेट की होती है वो रैंडमली चेंज होते रहती है. एवरी टाइम इट चेंजेस व्हिच इज वेरी यूनिक. ओके सो आई डोंट नो इफ यू हैव सम एग्जांपल्स इन अकाउंटिंग, बट मुझे डीमैट अकाउंट का याद है. कोटक यूज्ड टू प्रोवाइड दिस कीचेन टाइप ऑफ अ थिंग वेयर यू कैन प्रेस अ बटन एंड HSBC Citibank also might be providing it. Some people are saying so, it might be there. So many banks use. So this key does not have any internet connection. उसके अंदर कोई भी तरह का कनेक्शन नहीं होता. So it is very secure because उसको हैक नहीं किया जा सकता. It is a hardware key. And when you press a button, it shows the numbers, and that number is randomly changing time to time. So somebody is saying me that income tax officers also use this to log into their system, which is a very secure way of logging into a system because password तो आपका कोई भी बता, आपका पासवर्ड आपने कहीं पे लिख के रखा होगा या कोई आपका पासवर्ड गेस भी कर सकता है कभी कभार, but this key generates random numbers every time and then the advantage is that you don't need to remember it. You have to press it, जो आया नंबर वो डाल दिया. Okay, अगर आपको Gmail अकाउंट के लिए आपको करना है तो you can use something called as Google Authenticator. Microsoft के अकाउंट्स होंगे तो there is also Microsoft Authenticator app available. You can use that. Okay, तो आपके Gmail अकाउंट, ईमेल अकाउंट्स के लिए भी आप यूज कर सकते हो. वो ऐप, it is in a form of an app, not a keychain. Okay. Yes, so there is a question कि how does validation happen? उसको सर्वर को कैसे मालूम कि आपके कीचेन में नंबर क्या बन रहा है? ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है कि how does the server know कि आपके कीचेन में जो नंबर आ रहा है और जो रैंडम नंबर आ रहा है वो. So the answer to that is that the random number is not truly random. It is not truly random. It is done using a very sophisticated algorithm. Therefore, they are called as pseudo-random numbers. And only the server has that algorithm to generate that number also in real time. Real time में वो number change होता रहता है. So they know, and there is a mapping between your key and that, and therefore it always works well. उसका detail explanation करने में मुझे बहुत time लग जाएगा. Unfortunately, we won't have the time today. Maybe some, you can read about it. How do they work? आपको Google में या YouTube पे videos मिलेंगे. The algorithm, there is no encrypted algorithm. The random number generate करने का algorithm होता है. तो जो सीक्रेट की जो बटन दबाते हैं तो जो नंबर आ रहा है वो रैंडम है ना, इट लुक्स रैंडम, इट्स नॉट ट्रूली रैंडम, इट लुक्स रैंडम. Okay. So these are the levels of classification according to the US Department of Defense. Okay, that there is the highest level of security is called as type A. The lowest level is called type D. Type D is the minimum level of protection which you can have. Basic protection जो बहुत पुराने Windows version 3. Windows 3 was before Windows 95. उसमें मिलता था. Okay. Nowadays we have C types of type C is where you provide security and accountability to users with the help of audit capabilities. के उसमें log files maintain होते हैं. Audit में मतलब there is a log files which are maintained so that you can keep a track of who logged in, at what time did they log in, when did they log out, how many times the wrong password was entered. All of that can be kept. Okay, so there are उसमें two types हैं, C1, C2. उसी तरह उससे थोड़ा higher level of security is type B. So sensitivity उसमें ऐसा attached होती है कि which users can do what activity on that computer. Okay. And the highest level जो मैंने कहा जैसे वो type A है जिसमें बहुत sophisticated formal design होता है कि exact क्या activity कौन कर सकता है, everything is mapped on the server. Not anybody can do anything. Login करना does not mean कि you will get access. Okay. Now, authentication techniques में we will talk about something called as a single sign-on and federated identity system. So, what is this federated identity system? Federated identity system मतलब your authentication is done by a third party. जो आपका question था ना regarding audit, जब आप audit form submit करते हैं income tax department में, तो आप who are you ये कैसे पता चलता है? Okay, उसी तरह in a cloud in any kind of an IT environment, authentication is a very important tool कि कौन सी service या कौन से resource who can use, उसके लिए बहुत अलग-अलग techniques हैं. Okay, so one of those techniques is federated identity system where there is a third party server, a server which is created as a central location which manages everybody's identity, जो हर किसी का track रखता है कि कौन-कौन है. So every machine need not know the username and password of everybody. हर मशीन के ऊपर उसका लॉगिन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप लॉगिन करते हो तो आपका सर्वर आपको ऑथेंटिकेट करता है. डायरेक्टरी सर्विसेज हम लोग कहते हैं उसको माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में. बहुत सारी कंपनीज में आप लोग यूज करते होंगे. Where your username and password is authenticated not by the machine. जैसे मेरे लैपटॉप पे मेरा पासवर्ड is authenticated by my machine. मेरा machine knows my password. Okay, or if I put my thumb, it will recognize my thumb and allow me to open my. But in corporate environments, your password is not checked by the machine; it is checked by the server. So that is the federated identity. Federated identity is a centralized body, a centralized computer or service which is checking your authentication. Okay, then it provides something called as a single sign-on. Single sign-on means the moment you log into your computer using that login, आप सारी services में logged in हो जाते हैं. You don't have to log into each service separately. अभी मेरे लैपटॉप में क्या होता है जब मैं लॉगिन करता हूँ तो फिर उसको लॉगिन करने के बाद मुझे मेरे ईमेल में लॉगिन करना अलग पड़ता है, मुझे अपने इंटरनेट के लिए लॉगिन अलग करना पड़ता है, अलग-अलग चीजों के लिए अलग-अलग लॉगिन करना पड़ता है. But in a single sign-on facility क्या होता है, which is used in corporate directory services जिसे कहते हैं, what happens is when you log in, you are logged into all your services using that single login. So once you've logged in, आपको घड़ी पासवर्ड नहीं पूछता है. आपने देखा होगा ये. Okay. So it's called a उसके लिए एक नाम है SSO, single sign on. Like when single sign in and you do. This is some of the things which I have put in for explaining about strong passwords. How to build strong password. Okay, so federated identity का example के लिए I will go to my next topic, which is called as Kerberos. So I have a small little kind of an animation. It's not real. It's a very crude animation which I've created for you all to understand how it works. Okay, so it is biometric techniques. Everybody knows fingerprint, hand geometry, eye scanning, retina scanning, voice commands, face recognition. Okay, ये जो मेरा मैट्रिक्स मैंने बनाया है, okay, वो basically it is for through authentication. This is, yeah, it is failure acceptance level basically. Okay, but I'll discuss this some other time, not right now, because I don't think it is that important right now. Single sign-in, I already told you, it can be done through, there is a service called as LDAP, Lightweight Directory Access Control Protocol. So this lightweight directory access protocol is used to have single sign-on facility. Okay, cookies are another way. Cookies आप लोगों ने सुना होगा. They are also sometimes security threats, but they are generally also used for good things like single sign-on. जैसे you might remember आप OpenID एक चीज है, OpenID Connect है, दूसरा Facebook Connect है, तीसरा Google है. You can use that to log into many services. That's an example of a federated identity system. Okay, for example, I log into my Dropbox, not using my Dropbox account, but I use my Gmail authentication to log into my Dropbox many times. So I don't have to put my Dropbox ka password. I have a separate password for Dropbox, but what I can do is I can sign in using Gmail, Google. उसमें option आता है sign in using Google या sign in using Facebook. Okay, ऐसी बहुत जगहों पे आता है. LinkedIn में भी आता है, for example. या कभी-कभी LinkedIn is used as a authentication for many other services. You might have used that. Okay, so it is called federated identity. मतलब third party identity, आपका identity is being provided by third party. Mobile applications में तो बहुत use होता है. Okay, अगर आप मोबाइल पे कोई भी गेम खेलते हो, for example, so you can authenticate yourself using Facebook, or you can authenticate yourself using Google account. Okay, so it's an example of a federated identity. Okay, corporate world में क्या होता है? It is the corporate server which identifies you locally. Okay, so इसके advantages or disadvantages I've given is it will minimize the risk associated while accessing third-party websites. These are the advantages. Eliminate the risk of password fatigue because आपको password घड़ी-घड़ी हर site के लिए अलग-अलग याद नहीं रखना पड़ता. It eliminates the time-consuming re-entry of passwords again and again for every service. It minimizes the cost of IT because lower number of IT help desk calls, because most of the calls to IT help desk is मेरा password भूल गया हूँ, please reset my password. तो सिंगल साइन ऑन से क्या होता है, वो सब कम हो जाता है, आपके आईटी सर्विस पे लोड कम हो जाता है. ओके, नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स क्या है? It increases the negative impact when the credentials are made available to others, because once the password is known to somebody else, he can log into everything now. तो पहले क्या होता था, एक पासवर्ड अगर एक चीज का लॉस हुआ तो उतना ही लॉस होगा. सिंगल साइन ऑन में प्रॉब्लम क्या है? द रिस्क इज दैट यू विल लूज एवरीथिंग इफ योर पासवर्ड इज known to somebody else. Okay, in the case of a loss of availability of the system, denial of access is specified to all systems. So अगर आपका पासवर्ड आप भूल गए तो आप सब कुछ यूज नहीं कर पाओगे. You cannot use anything. So there is a single problem. That problem is a little higher. And the risk of failure of the system must result into the entire system. अगर suppose वो federated server बंद हो जाता है तो आपका सारी services बंद हो जाएगी access होना. Okay, so there are some advantages and some disadvantages of the system. Okay, so now this brings me to something which I have been referring from yesterday, Kerberos करके. So it's a protocol, it's an authentication protocol, network authentication protocol, where a federated identity can be maintained. Okay, this is used to implement strong authentication. So इसमें क्या होगा ना, password sniffing जो होता है, password sniffing means when you enter your username and password and over the network, it can be known. Mr. Panjwani, I know I've promised you for the demo of the cloud. I will try to do it if today time permits. Otherwise, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. There are too many questions regarding cloud, so I was unable to answer everything then. Okay. I will see what I can do. I'll definitely try. Okay. So Password sniffing is when you type enter your username or password on a, आप enter करते हो और वो password travel करता है ना server तक. It goes from your machine to the server for authentication. What if somebody reads that password during that transmission? That is called as password sniffing. कोई सूंघ ले आपका password. Okay, so it's like a term. And firewalls may not help in case of internal threats and all of that. So इसके लिए we are, because many of the times क्या होता है, the खतरा comes from within the organization. So then internal threats के हिसाब से वो password sniffing अंदर से कोई कर रहा है, तो firewall cannot prevent it. Okay, so all these issues are there. So strong cryptography is provided using Kerberos. Now, how is this done? Let me show you as quickly a demo. Okay, so पहले let me introduce the cast. Okay, so the first ये जो आपको KBC दिख रहा है, that is your Kerberos, server. Okay, this maintains all your keys. This is like, अगर आपके example में पढ़ना हो, तो you can think of this as that person or that company which gives you your digital signature जो आपको देता है ना, that federated and that certifying authority जो आपको आपकी की देता है. Okay. Now यहाँ पे there's a difference. Okay, we are using symmetric key. We are not using public key in Kerberos. तो यहाँ पे symmetric key मतलब the same key is used to lock and the same key is used to unlock the message. तो ये message का icon है. Any message is like this. This is the key. So now to lock this message, to encrypt this message, we use this key. To decrypt this message, we use the same key. So how do we know that this message has been locked by this key, the color? तो अगर वो green color का envelope है, मतलब it is a message which has been encrypted using the green key. Okay, this green key belongs to the server, the Kerberos server. Similarly, the client, suppose your machine, you also have a key which we will call it as the purple key. So if you lock your message using your secret key, this is your secret key. Okay, it's symmetric. तो इससे ही लॉक होगा, इसी से अनलॉक होगा. तो the message which is locked using your key is purple, and it can only be unlocked using this key. Then there is a file server, a third party, somebody else, जिसका client. So in your example, you can think of it as the IT department या IT, आपका, उनकी भी खुद की एक private key है, उनकी खुद की एक secret key है, and they can also encrypt their messages using their key, and that will be blue envelope because their key is blue. Okay. So now let us look at what it happens. So सबसे पहले तो ना ये situation होती है. Situation ये होती है कि you get your key from a centralized authority. Because you get it from a centralized authority, that centralized authority जो भी है उसके पास आपका key का एक copy है. So they have a copy of your key and they give you one copy to take home. You may buy it from them. They have another key which is their own key. This they are not sharing with you. So the green key उनका जो है वो उनके पास है. अब ये जो फाइल सर्वर है ये भी एक थर्ड पार्टी है, इसने भी उनसे की ली हुई है, तो उनके पास, so the server maintains a copy of that blue key and gives one blue key to the file server in this case. Now you as a client want to access some file on the file server. Okay, but you want to do this, तो इसका authentication करना है क्या? The file server needs to authenticate के who you are and whether you have access to do you have the authority to access that file. तो ये कैसे होगा? इसके लिए स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसेस चलना पड़ेगा. सो सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या है? ओके, यू विल क्रिएट अ रिक्वेस्ट. दिस इज कॉल्ड अ टोकन रिक्वेस्ट. यू विल क्रिएट अ टोकन रिक्वेस्ट. उसको कहते हैं टोकन रिक्वेस्ट. उसका टिकट कहा जाता है, टीकेटी, बट दैट्स ओके, दैट फॉरगेट अबाउट द एक्चुअल नॉमेनक्लेचर क्या यूज होता है. तो ये टिकट फॉर द टोकन इज क्रिएटेड दैट यू वांट, दैट दिस इज बेसिकली एक रिक्वेस्ट कि भाई मेरे को एक प्लीज ऑथेंटिकेट मी. दिस इज अ वे ऑफ ऑथेंटिकेटिंग योरसेल्फ विद द सर्वर. तो ये जो मैसेज है, ये मैसेज आपकी की से लॉक किया गया है. This key is only with you and with the server. Nobody else knows this key. This is a secret key. when you send this key से लॉक किया हुआ मैसेज टू द सर्वर, ये मैसेज नेटवर्क के थ्रू जाएगा. Nobody in the middle can open this message because this message has been locked using your key. ये की का कॉपी सिर्फ और सिर्फ सर्वर के पास है, किसी और के पास नहीं है दुनिया में. So when the server receives this request, what it does is it checks by opening this message using your key. तो ये आपका की लेके अनलॉक करेगा. अगर ये मैसेज अनलॉक हो गया आपके की से, तो सर्वर को ये गारंटी है कि ये जो रिक्वेस्ट है ये आपने ही भेजा था, बिकॉज ये पर्पल की से अनलॉक हुआ है, मतलब ये पर्पल की से लॉक हुआ था. तो अगर पर्पल ने इसको अनलॉक किया तो ये पर्पल से लॉक हुआ था, ये भी गारंटीड है. सो इसलिए दिस इज अ वे ऑफ ऑथेंटिकेटिंग यू विद द सर्वर. द मोमेंट यू आर ऑथेंटिकेटेड, तो ये परमिशन क्या करेगा सर्वर, बोलेगा हाँ ठीक है आप ऑथेंटिकेटेड हो, ये मैं वो लिख देगा कि ओके यू आर ऑथेंटिकेटेड, ऐसा लिख देगा मैसेज, और उसे लॉक करेगा यूजिंग इट्स सीक्रेट की. उसकी खुद की जो है वो ग्रीन है, तो वो उसके ग्रीन की से ये मैसेज लॉक करेगा. ये क्या है, ये आपको परमिशन दी गई है कि यू आर ऑथेंटिकेटेड यूजर, आपका ऑथेंटिकेशन हो चुका है, इसका प्रूफ है ये मैसेज. अब ये मैसेज जो सर्वर ने अपनी खुद की से लॉक किया है विल बी सेंड टू यू. वो जो आपने जो रिक्वेस्ट भेजी थी वो डिलीट हो गई. अब ये मैसेज जो आपके पास आ गया, तो ये मैसेज जो आया है ये आपकी टिकट है. दिस इज योर टिकट, जिसके थ्रू आप कोई भी चीज बाद में एक्सेस करना हो तो आप सर्वर के थ्रू एक्सेस कर सकते हो. अब ये जो टिकट है ये आप डायरेक्टली फाइल सर्वर को नहीं भेज सकते, बिकॉज फाइल सर्वर डज नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दिस मैसेज. ये मैसेज सिर्फ सर्वर ने आपको भेजा है टू आइडेंटिफाई यू. सो एवरी टाइम इट डज नॉट नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई यू, यू जस्ट नीड टू कीप अ कॉपी ऑफ दिस मैसेज विथ यू एट ऑल टाइम्स. इसकी वैलिडिटी होगी, इसकी वैलिडिटी कैन बी 1 आवर, इट कैन बी 1 डे, इट कैन बी 1 मंथ. जो भी पीरियड तक ये वैलिड है तब तक ये आपको काम आएगा. सो व्हाट वी डू नाउ इज व्हेन वी डू नेक्स्ट, you create a, suppose you want to access a file on the file server, you will create a copy of this ticket. You will create a copy of this ticket, and with this you will write a message that bhai I want to access a file from this server, and you will send it to the server again okay bhai I want to access a file. Now the server knows that you have been authenticated because this is locked using the green key. तो वो unlock करके देख लेगा कि हाँ ये इसके पास ticket correct है. Okay. So what it will do next is the server will create a ticket for the file server. आपने बोला कि मुझे फाइल सर्वर एक्सेस करना है, बोले ठीक है, तो मैं फाइल सर्वर को परमिशन देता हूं तुझे फाइल देने का. So that permission is granted by the server and it is put inside an envelope and encrypted using the file server का की. ब्लू की से लॉक हुआ है, पर्पल से नहीं. और ये मैसेज क्लाइंट को भेजा जाता है. तो ये क्या है, ये परमिशन है टू एक्सेस द फाइल. ये किसने दिया है, सर्वर ने दिया है. लॉक किससे किया है, फाइल सर्वर की ब्लू की से लॉक हुआ है. अब ये जो मैसेज जब मेरे क्लाइंट के पास आता है, क्लाइंट कैन नॉट ओपन दिस मैसेज बिकॉज उसके पास ब्लू की ही नहीं है. बट वो मैसेज आया है, एनक्रिप्टेड मैसेज आया है, एनक्रिप्टेड है, बट उसको बोला गया कि ये तेरी चाबी, दिस इज योर परमिशन. सो अब वो क्या करेगा, क्लाइंट विल कॉन्टैक्ट द फाइल सर्वर बाय क्रिएटिंग अ कॉपी ऑफ दैट परमिशन. उसको कॉपी पेस्ट करेगा, उसका एक परमिशन का कॉपी लेगा और वो परमिशन फाइल सर्वर को भेजेगा. इट विल सेंड इट टू द फाइल सर्वर कि भाई आई वांट टू एक्सेस दिस फाइल. द फाइल सर्वर विल यूज इट्स प्राइवेट की, सीक्रेट की, टू अनलॉक दिस मैसेज, टू चेक कि ये अनलॉक होता है क्या. अगर ये अनलॉक हो गया मतलब ये परमिशन उसको सर्वर ने दी है, बिकॉज सर्वर के पास ब्लू की का कॉपी है. द क्लाइंट डज नॉट हैव दैट कॉपी. तो अगर ये ब्लू की से अनलॉक होता है, दैट मींस दिस परमिशन हैज बीन ग्रांटेड बाय द सर्वर. सो नाउ द फाइल सर्वर नोज दैट यस this permission is correct and therefore communication can begin between the client and the server, so the client can access the file no problem. Okay, so this is the entire, in a very small non-technical way I have tried to explain how the entire Kerberos एक protocol है ये authentication का. ऐसे बहुत सारे authentication protocols हैं, but this is one which is used very routinely in the industry. Okay, when we say that there is a federated identity, whether there is a third party to take care of your, तो यही चीज यूज होती है जब आप Facebook लॉगिन करते हैं, Google लॉगिन करते हैं into third party servers. Okay, so this is what will happen. आपका पासवर्ड एक्चुअली कभी उधर नहीं जाएगा, आपका पासवर्ड सिर्फ सर्वर, गूगल के सर्वर के पास जाएगा, गूगल का सर्वर उसको एक टोकन बना के आपको दे देगा और वो टोकन के थ्रू आप एक्सेस करोगे. ओके, मेक सेंस? थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग था? ओके, थोड़ा है कंफ्यूजिंग, सो तो कंफ्यूजिंग लगा तो डोंट वरी. Okay, so penetration testing आज टाइम नहीं है. I will discuss this tomorrow with you. Okay. All right. I'll definitely discuss penetration testing tomorrow. Okay. And I'm just checking if I can answer a couple of questions before I leave. एक ऑफ द टॉपिक क्वेश्चन था किसी का कि हाउ कैन आई क्रिएट प्रेजेंटेशंस लाइक जो मैंने बनाया है. तो the answer is that there is no software for it. Microsoft PowerPoint is the only software. PowerPoint can help you create beautiful presentations. Believe me. I was talking to Saurabh sir. One of the courses which I want to really launch is how to use Office effectively. Microsoft Office है ना, उसके tools है, Office 365 जो cloud है, how to use that very effectively. Okay, so all these services of Microsoft and Google. So I want to create these two courses where we will be able to teach people how to really use the power of Microsoft Office and Microsoft and Google, separate programs maybe, of how to leverage those resources, because it's beautifully we can use that. ये प्रेजेंटेशन मैंने आज बनाया है, मैंने ये प्रेजेंटेशन पहले नहीं बनाया था, या आज का प्रेजेंटेशन. एवरी टाइम आई मेक माय प्रेजेंटेशन फ्रेश. ओके, सो इट टेक्स टाइम, बट Microsoft really helps a lot. Yes, Mr. Parwani, I will try to do the example for a lot of things मुझे करना है. थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड धीरे धीरे कर रहा हूँ मैं. आज क्लाउड पे बहुत ज्यादा टाइम निकल गया. नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई एंड डू समथिंग. ऑलराइट गाइस, थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग टुडे. एंड आदत नहीं बनाते हैं बहुत, और एवरीडे अभी प्लान कर रहे हैं. कोर्स जब हो जाएगा तो वी विल अनाउंस डेफिनेटली टू ऑल ऑफ यू.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session.
जी.
So can we close it?
Yes, ma'am. आज के लिए काफी है. If any questions are there, please put it on the WhatsApp group. I will try to incorporate them tomorrow into my presentation. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. We are closing for today. We'll meet again same time 6:30.